Just how great were the great train robbers?
Well, they're not that great because they got caught.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got so caught. They got caught almost immediately.
Yeah.
And they got caught in very stupid ways. Do you know how they were caught, really?
When they left the... well, in the film, anyway. That's all I know about it. In the film, when they left, there was a sort of... what's it called? Air traffic control tower. They left... Didn't they... They leave that in the film? Oh, I mixed it up with Herbie Rides Again.
I think you may be. No, this was a train robbery, not a plane robbery.
Honestly, for a minute, I did think I knew what it was.
This was in Buckinghamshire in 1963, August the 8th, 1963, the great train robbery. It was a lot of money. About £40 million worth in our time.
Did they know it was on there, or did they get lucky?
Oh, no, they knew. It was planned. It was a travelling post office train, and it was £1 and £5 and £10 used notes that were on their way to be burned, so they felt like they were just liberating it, you know. But when they got caught, they went to this farm and played Monopoly using the stolen money as their Monopoly money, and then they cleared out and left their fingerprints over everything, over all the Monopoly set. And they were all, you know, they all had form. They were all, you know, known blaggers. So they were just rounded up, all 12 of the gang of 15. One was acquitted, 2 were never caught. They were pretty inept, is the answer, basically.
So why, that begs the question, why are they called great? Because of the amount of money they nicked?
I think because it was a train robbery, and there was a great train robbery in America, and in 1903, the first ever film that was a story rather than just a camera pointing at nature or people in a park, but actually a constructed narrative, a drama, was called The Great Train Robbery. So it was very famous. So when there was a train robbery and it was a big one, the word great naturally fitted in front of it. You know, it's just like one of those cliches that newspapers will go for. And they went for that one.
It just sounds like they stole the train, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That would be impressive.
You can't steal a train. You can't steal a train.
No, well, that's because it can't go... It's got rails. You know where it's going to go. Yeah. You can go there more quickly or more slowly, but it's still going into King's Cross.
If you've got Gromit in the gang...
Yes. That's true.
He can lay track as he's going along.
Yeah.
Well, some
sort of Gromit-like escape for that would be a great train robbery.
That would. Who's the most famous of the great train robbers, would you say?
Ronnie Biggs.
Ronnie, you've all said Ronnie Biggs, yeah. And what was his role? Was he the mastermind? Is that why he's the best known?
No.
No, he was such a small peg in the whole thing.
Was he the driver?
No, he wasn't even that. He was inside. He was doing a stretch for taking and driving away. And the mastermind of the entire event met him and said, I'm planning this blag.
I'm planning a game of Monopoly.
Yeah,
He's just got to pick something up on the way.
Yeah,
it's my set, I've lost all the fake money. And the only way of replacing it I can think of...
I've run Waddington's, they didn't want to know. Get a new set, they said. Don't be ridiculous, I said.
Anyway, the mastermind was called Bruce Reynolds. And he said, if you can find me someone who can drive a train, a diesel train, I will cut you in on a big job that's going down.
You can find... I mean, that's not like someone who can sort of melt diamonds with their eyes. Someone who can drive a diesel. Apparently they exist somewhere.
But the amazing thing, David Mitchell, is that Biggs found this guy whose nickname was Old Pete or Stan Agate. No one knows who he was because he was the one who was never caught.
Was that Old Pete the train driver? I know.
Yeah. So his job...
After Casey Jones had turned him down.
Yeah. For being found, Ronnie Biggs got a share worth 147,000, which in today's money is 1.6 million. And all he had to do, Ronnie Biggs, was get this guy, Old Pete, to the scene. But this Old Pete got to the train and said, oh, I don't know how to drive that. Ronnie Biggs still got his share, but Old Pete was useless. He couldn't drive a train. He'd been lying all the time.
I like the idea that Old Pete's like those actors who put on their CV, yes, I can horse ride. Oh, yes, I can drive a train. I speak Mandarin, too. Train through China, no problem at all.
That's how he found him. He went through Spotlight. And the other, apparently, he was very well reviewed in Much Ado About Nothing last year.
And he's trained in modern dance.
Yeah.
That could come in handy. Yeah.
You sound like you're quite fond of them.
No, I'm not fond of them. They had a sort of mythic role,
Yes.
but I like the fact they were bunglingly incompetent.
Yes, yeah,
really.
yeah. They weren't as evil, perhaps, as they've been portrayed.
No, exactly.
Some people like villains. There's a cafe near me, and it does bangers and mash and old-fashioned English grub. And then on the menus, they've got one menu's got Sid James and Barbara Windsor in a carry-on film, and then there's Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, just dressed up in their overcoats. Yeah. And then on the third one is the Cray twins.
Blimey.
Jerky cultural icons, great comedians of the 60s, and notorious maimers and murderers.
Yeah, that is odd, isn't it? It's very strange. Well, the great train robbers weren't particularly great. Most of them were caught because they left fingerprints on the Monopoly set at the safe house.